Hello and warmest greetings, everyone. Thank you for attending the work group on solutions to anthropogenic climate change occurring on Earth. It warms my heart that each of the major stakeholders has sent a representative to this meeting. Now, I didn't have time for name tags, so I'll just introduce everyone. You know me, I'm Santa Claus. To know someone is to love them, you know. Quarlex 24 is here representing the Intergalactic Federation of Sentient Beings and is the special master for preservation of biodiversity in the local stellar group. Did I get that right? Oh, Leroy here is a Yeti. Leroy here representing the worldwide communal anarchist collective of forest walkers. And last but not least, the representative of the most powerful sentient race on the planet, Mr. Snuggles the cat. Oh, I'm not here to represent anyone. I have an interest in the outcome. After all, when your home is in the North Pole, climate change is a critical issue. But I am only here to facilitate and moderate the discussion. I know that your groups have had your differences, but we are all caring deeply about solving this problem. Each of you represent very different folks with very different strengths and abilities. So I am pleased as punch that you have decided to work together. We're all similar, we're all different. Isn't that the best way? It sort of brings a smile to your heart. You all have ideas you want to present, so I'll stop my droll little mouth and turn it over to you. Miss, gosh, I am so sorry, I didn't ask your pronouns.
Interesting question. Both of them, I think, would be most appropriate. Our species doesn't clearly track into your binary system.
Oh, but neither does ours, really.
Interesting.
So, Quarlex 24, would you like to begin our roundtable discussion?
Thank you, Santa Claus, and esteemed colleagues. As you may know, the Intergalactic Federation of Sentient Beings has made the preservation of ecological conditions on non-contacted planets an area of special concern this galactic cycle. As such, the Antharian people were nominated as the environmental stewards of the local stellar group, and I was selected the special master in charge of M-type world's Earth subdivision. I'm kind of a big deal. Our last force has been actively investigating human activity and environmental change for the last 10 to the negative 6 galactic cycles, or 230 Earth years. At first, our research was focused on agricultural activity. We conducted a series of experiments to quantify the digestive methane creation throughput of common domestic animals. We even attempted to re-engineer their digestive system using our dynamic bioremodulator, though those experiments were ultimately unsuccessful.
You turned cows inside out.
Of course. The human population was growing exponentially, and their methane emissions could not be discounted. So, to create a complete data set, we initiated a thorough examination of the human digestive system with random selection of individuals in the population to create a statistically significant sample size.
You anal probed them.
We created an important diagnostic scientific model.
And?
Ultimately, we concluded that the methane emissions, while significant, were not the primary driving factor in climate change analysis. The most significant factor was the extraction of sequestered carbon and the chemical release of its energy via combustion.
You turned cows inside out and anally probed people for 200 years to figure out that burning fossil fuels is the problem?
We were being thorough!
So what's your solution, Dr. Genius?
Ah, yes, thank you. After careful consideration of all the options, our recommendation to the Intergalactic Federation is for complete eradication of the human population.
What?
It is an extreme solution, but our analysis shows it is the option with the highest probability of success. Humans are essentially an invasive native species. They have infested nearly all the biologically productive terrain on the planet, and the remaining spaces are being dramatically affected by their waste products.
But they're sentient.
That makes it worse. Do you not see how it is worse? Oh, they are capable of understanding what they are doing, and they have produced research showing the harm they are doing, and yet they are still doing it. We feel that complete eradication is the only practical solution.
And how exactly are you going to do that safe? For us, I mean.
Well, the most efficient way would be to wipe out all surface life with a mega beam and then recreate the biosphere from our genetic database. Oh, I know. I said that would be the most effective solution. But given considerations about individual autonomy, we agree that it's not the best strategy. Instead, we propose to unleash an army of indestructible murder bots programmed to eradicate the human population only. It will be more expensive and take years of thorough carnage to ensure complete elimination, but it would have much less collateral damage to non-human individuals.
You can't kill all the humans. Who's going to give us treats? Tummy rubs and gourmet food. I am not going back to eating dead fish again.
It is the only option.
You spent 100 years sticking things up butts, and your best solution is to kill them all?
This coming from a species that licks their own butthole instead of taking a bath.
That's it, buddy!
Okay. Oh, let's all just calm down.
They insulted my research.
They insulted my hygiene!
I hear that. Warlex 24, Mr. Snuggles, I hear what you are both saying. Feelings are running high. But that is because we care, and we're all here to make a difference, right? Good. So, let's all take a deep breath together. In and out. Good. Again, in and out with the sound. Hold. Good. One more time. In and out. Ho, ho, ho. Good. doesn't that feel better? Leroy, you've been a bit quiet. How do the Yeti feel about this?
I'm a Bigfoot.
Sorry?
I'm from Appalachia. Yetis are members of our collective, but them the ones in Asia.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought as an accident that Bigfoot might be insulting.
I appreciate your attempt at cultural sensitivity, Santa. They're all accidents. Yetis don't speak native Tibetan any more than I grew up speaking English. It's all the same.
Okay, well, thank you. So, what do you call yourselves?
That's kind of hard. You know the sound that humans make when they step on a Lego?
Oh, do I?
Well, it's close to that, just down a couple options.
I see.
Bigfoot is fine by me.
Thank you. All right, then. How does the Bigfoot community and all forest walkers feel about this, mister?
Yep, I'm a dude. But just Leroy is all you need.
Thank you. Leroy.
Yeah, so our philosophy is just different, is all. Like, why you gotta go around thinking that you need to solve the problems of the universe? Someone gonna give you a medal or something? And even if they did, what good is that? That's nothing compared to the field of grass and leaves under your feet. The view of the sun as dawn breaks on a 14,000-foot peak. The taste of the blood of a raw fish in your teeth. You gotta live. Get your mind free. Get away from it all.
How is that a solution?
Look, all right, I agree. These humans are causing problems. They are seriously encroaching on the wild spaces. It's getting so it's dang near impossible to get away from it all east of the Mississippi. It looks like I'm going to have to move out west. And they're changing the climate. It's getting hotter. That's no good for my fur. And the garbage, too. What you said there, Portland, you ain't wrong. But now, I would miss them if they were gone entirely. Some of the best fun I ever had was hiding folks' cameras or pulling out the batteries. And then, walking right past them naked as a jaybird. Oh boy! One time, I took this guy's camera and I put a beehive in his camera bag instead. Then I pop out of the bushes. He goes for the camera. All the bees come out. It's the funniest thing I ever saw. Kind of mean, but he was off trail hiking where he shouldn't have been. You see, we got to deal with the CIA.
Okay, so what's your solution?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, you got to live your life, dude. You can't get dragged down in other folks' problems. But there are so many people now, it's getting hard to just live your life. So what we ought to do is just get out of here and find a new bliss. Know what I mean?
What?
Sure, Corley here has a spaceship. There ain't but 150 of us in the collective. There's a lot more cats, but y'all are pretty small. They'll be our lunch. Let's just pack up and move. Get out of their way and let them make their mistakes.
Leave the humans? What about belly rubs?
I guess, but you're going to have to catch your own food. Follow your own bliss.
Dead birds again.
No,
Oh, what? Come on, man.
not a man. And no.
Sorry, Portland. I'm bad, but why won't you just let us get going?
First, finding a compatible new environment with reasonably similar climate profile, nutrition availability, and a non-toxic atmosphere is pretty difficult. But more importantly, you would be an invasive species. Taking a species, even a sentient one, and transplanting it into a new ecosystem, a new planet, that's the opposite of our ecological mission. Even if you were scrupulously careful not to overly change your environment, you are a giant cauldron of bacteria and microbiomes. There's no telling what the tiniest skin might do in an alien ecosystem. There are simply too many variables to even consider it.
Come on! You're just overthinking things, Portland. Probably nothing will go wrong.
I don't want... Probably nothing will go wrong on my epitaph.
That's kind of morbid, don't you think?
Okay. Oh, thank you. It sounds like you have a good idea, but you can't execute that solution. And your fine friend here has laid out some very good reasons why they can't help you do that. I think it's okay to take some time to think about that. Don't you agree, Leroy? And what about you, Mr. Snuggles? Mr. Snuggles.
Sorry, I must have dozed off.
I haven't given you the opportunity to present your thoughts. The man of the hour, take it away.
Actually, but thank you.
Dear, I'm so sorry. I thought you were Mr. Snuggles. Did I get that wrong?
No, that's my name, Mr. Snuggles. I'm Miss Mr. Snuggles. The kid named me when he was 3.
I see. Well, thank you for correcting me. We have heard from the Forest Walkers and the Intergalactic Federation. What do the cats have to say, Mr. Snuggles?
Thank you, Santa. Esteemed colleagues, as you know, ever since cats learned to harness the human, cats have been the dominant species on the planet. From the ancient pharaohs to the Vikings to the age of the internet, cats have been worshipped, served, and obeyed by people. We have been, by and large, benevolent masters, and we have not just ruled, but we have used our agents to subtly help, influence, and manipulate humans. Agent Socks was instrumental in getting Clinton's support for the Kyoto Protocols.
All right, we get it. But if you have so much control over humans, why aren't you, controlling them not to mess things up?
We recognize that our humans have got a bit out of hand. Their dependence on fossil fuels to create a productive energy plus surplus cannot be sustained indefinitely. They have been destroying non-human habitat areas, and frankly, overfishing is a big concern. That's why we're going to take decisive action. Cats of the earth have promised to pester their humans with annoying cries, getting underfoot, and knocking stuff off of other stuff until the humans agree to change their macroeconomic behavior to ameliorate the ecological destruction it is causing.
That sounds like stuff y'all do anyway.
I seem to recall that exact same promise of action at our last meeting.
We did do that.
Why didn't it work? Was it not effective?
Most humans interpreted our call for environmental social responsibility as a request for treats. Or to play with string or that dot. I hate that dot. Where does that dot come from?
And you cooked the bribe? You got paid off in treats and shut up, eh?
Or toys. Or that dot. That dot! Ah! We're easily distracted.
With all due respect, Mr. Snuggles, do you admit yourself that your plan of action has already failed? Why would it be successful now?
That is why we are going to take drastic action. This time, in addition to everything else I mentioned, we will start pooping outside the litter box.
That's it?
That's the shittiest plan I've ever heard.
Well, it's better than murdering everyone.
Oh, thank you for sharing, Mr. Snuggles. What I'm hearing is that your colleagues have some skepticism about the effectiveness of your plan, considering the record of past attempts. Is that fair?
Yeah, I guess.
Each of you has put out a solution and received feedback. Even if it doesn't make us jolly, honest feedback can be productive. Does anyone have any new thoughts, suggestions?
No.
I got nothing.
I'm sure someone has something to share.
What about you, Santa?
Yeah. What you got for us?
I would be interested in your perspective as well.
I don't know if I can do that. My job is to facilitate, not participate.
I think we'd like you to, right?
Well, all right, if we all agree. Now, you each have come at this problem with a different place, and I know you mean well, but I don't think any of your plans are going to work. You all make good points. Quarlex 24, you pointed out that people already have done the research, and that's true. Sure, it means that people know enough to choose what is right and wrong, but it also means that some people care enough to learn and to change. Leroy, you're right to point out the importance of connecting with nature. That's something humans do too. Those people you see are all out seeking that same spirit that you crave, and that spirit is going to help them treasure the earth and protect it. And Mr. Snuggles, you're right in pointing out that humans have done a lot to create change, with the help of cats, of course. It's not enough, but there are people working in the right direction.
So what do you believe?
Well, I'm sent. So I believe in the power of love. You don't need money. You don't need fame. You don't need a ticket to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life.
That's the power of love.
Yes, right, that is the power of love. It's easy for adults to cut themselves off from the power of love. They teach themselves to ignore the consequences of the rules they create. As they grow, many people learn to ignore it, not to think about why the shoes they buy are so cheap or where the oil they burn goes. But most people still have that child in their heart that loves the world. And it's that child, that love, that can make a change if they just wake it up. And that love is what is going to win.
You think that'll actually work?
It always has. People do a lot of terrible things, but they do a lot of beautiful things too. And over time, there are more beautiful things than there are bad. Once people understand how to make change, love will win out. Because they're all different, but they're all the same.
So we do nothing?
We hope, and we love, and we trust that the humans will figure it out. They usually do.
Well, Satan, if that's what you think, I guess I'm all right with that too.
Me too.
And I move that the working group adopt Santa's proposal and commission a white paper to that effect.
Seconded.
I will support the white paper, as long as someone crinkles it into a ball and throws it for me.
Well, the motion has been made and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Very well. The motion passes. Thank you all for your participation, and we will reconvene next year for a status update. Now, I've got to get back to work making toys for the children, though maybe I'll make a few less robots this year.